brew something first?
Nope. It's part 2 of the Warwick Farm preview. Gord, you're enjoying a tipple out of some glassware that turned up today.
My white wine comes to you from Paul in Queensland, or actually the glass, not the wine. So next time,
yeah,
throw a few bottles in as well, will you, Paul? But I met him up there for the Magic Million sales, and he bought a couple of horses, and Keen Bean loves his horse racing, has an idea, and thank you very much for the present. It seems we're getting all these presents these days.
Yeah, horses, glasses.
So we get magnificent wine glasses, and Glenn gets Bass Hill soccer hoodies. Eh?
Yeah, but he looked resplendent in it, in the baby blue on the rant.
Fit him very well, didn't
also
it?
got a big announcement while we're talking about that sort of stuff. The keg is making his debut on Friday.
I'm gone, am I?
Yeah, we've pushed Gord aside. So the keg is with Glenn and I to discuss Rose Hill, San Domenico Stakes Day, Premier's Cup Day, and
do you know how normally sports people complain about when they find out about getting fired, like from the press?
Right.
That's the first I've heard about it. Lately I've been sacked.
Ah, God. Gord's got an appointment.
Oh yeah, my school will be asking me to build a new hall for them, I think. Yeah. Could take a while.
Brick by brick. Race 5, benchmark 75, 1600 metres. Doesn't it just warm the cockles of your heart to see $3.50 Fortensky, $5 Kokapoo, $6 Argent Door, $10 Subarb, $9 Placero Miss, $12 Tap That, $14 Mammy Dade, 19 Aragold, 21 the bottom 2, 35 Ear Eyes. Have I missed anything? I don't think so. I suppose it's an interesting race because we've got this Fortensky that is always one that you sort of want to oppose. It gets well forward here. It was ridden forward the other day and went all right. Not sure whether Tap That'll be ridden with urgency back in distance. Miami Dade wants to be on the speed. Kokapoo led before being circled by Captain Mannering the other day to take a trail. Aragold's got a cheap draw and may not be too far away. He was ridden up on the speed the other day, which leaves Concessions going back looking for a spot. Ear Eyes, Sovereign Air, Tatouche, Argent Door and Subarb all in the back half of the field. Now, firstly, Gord, Kokapoo, what the fuck has happened there? What's going on?
I don't know. Tell me about the times.
Times are all right. You know, the horse pissed in. I didn't watch the race live, and I saw John Walder and Paul Daly discussing the horse. Oh yeah, it won by 5 lengths. I'm going, Kokapoo won by 5 lengths?
Yeah.
Absolutely pissed in, and so he's now won his last 2, and of course drew the hated Gate 1 at Newcastle first up, which may explain his first up run. So it appears he's put in 3 really good runs in his 3 runs back this preparation.
He definitely has indeed, and it is a dangerous stable. Sorry guys, I probably won't be betting again.
This is the Gordo no-bet bloody show.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kokapoo obviously flying this preparation, but can I get involved in a horse like that coming to Wednesday Metropolitan? No.
Well, he's got no city credentials. And
Fortensky does deserve to be favourite. I don't know, every time I see this horse in a field I think, oh great, and then I look, you do the form on every other horse in the race and you go, well, you've got a good chance again.
Well, his setup's all right, isn't it? Because he went 16, 14, 15, 50. He's back to 16 now. He's got Bowman, and he'll put himself in the race. You know, it's just he's a bit camera shy, I think.
You got Street Pursuit coming out for that win to win again.
I know.
And they gapped the rest of the field.
I know, but I think Fortensky had more favours in that run.
Yeah.
It was very cleverly ridden.
And Subarb interests me.
Well, he seems to be really overperforming. I mean, he's you know, it wasn't a particularly suitable race for him to come from the back. I mean, if he has to come from the back all the time, that's part of the problem. But he's racing well for his hot new stable.
Probably only. Oh, actually, I could entertain 3 or 4. I might change my mind tomorrow. I'll chat to a few people about Fortensky because I notice there's a tendency for some of the big operators to forget about the stuff that we sometimes are negative about with horses like this, and just go, this just sets up perfectly.
Yeah.
And
I know. Well, like I'm the ultimate grey. You know, you're just red. I'm grey. So I see problems in everything.
Yeah. So I could entertain it, and so far was very strong through the line. I actually like the freshen up. Barrier 3, I'm not sure, because it's probably just going to go back to last again anyway. Like, I wouldn't mind to see them showing a little bit more intent from 3 to maybe sit a little bit closer. But
yeah, don't give it away, I'd say.
But I mean, that's at odds, and not normally my go. But the only two I could entertain is 3 and 4. I think the one to talk about is number 2, Argent Dorba. Like, what are you making of that?
Wet sprinter, wet short courser. Like, he of course was struggling at 1400 on this track mid-preparation last time. Went to 1400 at Kembla and was awful, and then went back to 1200 off a freshen up on a damp track at Canterbury and struck the line. I think that the step up to a mile is against him. And also good, I must say, that race that he won is looking poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer.
Well, it's not just poor. I mean, remember we were talking about it on the day, and we just go, Argent Dorba just won the lottery. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to run round in the money in its next few starts, and we're going to be against it. So I'd say, well,
look,
our
you know,
play
he's
at the
gone.
moment we're taking 20% of the market out there. Look,
well, I'm forecasting it to start closer to 10% of the market. So,
okay.
you know, that may work, that may not. Now, look, there's lots of horses that it's hard to like here. You know, Miami Dade went back to Scone the other day. Place here looked good at Scone, but had a perfect setup for it, and it was really quite tinny at Canterbury, I thought, although ridden perhaps slightly upside down. I'm
giving none to a lot of horses in this race, but not finding a margin about ones I might be interested in betting. Backing. You know what I mean? Like, like you find 20 there, 10 there.
This is one of those lottery races. Look, 2 horses I'll mention. Ara Gold, who showed some speed the other day, is on the quick backup and had blinkers on the other day. And good old Money Muncher Tatouche, back from 1900 to 1600, freshen up trial, Rachel King.
Oh my God.
What? It's 20s. We're talking about 20s chances.
I know, it's fine, but you know, I've been half finding that goddamn horse, and I just thought that too, you've got life. Well, you know when I was finding
what hasn't got life?
Well, I was finding
race?
it when everybody was talking about this Wendy Roche stable, you know, like what was going on. But anyway.
Anyway, it'll be fascinating to see how Kokopu goes, because I mean he's in this amazing form, but has no city credentials, and you know, has been pottering around the provincials forever. He and Concessions ran in an 1800 metre race at Hawkesbury, and Concessions towelled him. So she's $21 in this race tomorrow. That's race 5. The penultimate, race 6, 1200 metres. And
a fat race.
It is, because there's a number of resumers and a little bit of Warwick Farm form as well. So $3.80, I Am Serious, the unbeaten mare, having her first start for the leading stable after being trained by, was Ross Stitt? What does it say there?
No, Hare.
Oh, Bob Hare,
like
Tare, yeah. Yeah, unbeaten in 3 runs.
How's Bob Hare going?
3 country runs.
I don't know him very well.
Oh, he's just a sort of solid Tare trainer, gets his fair share of winners. I wouldn't say he's no good, but I mean certainly Tare standard. $5.50 Perazada, $7 Red is the Rose, very interesting Hayes Dabernig runner. $9 Ajani up the top, $11 Centro Superior, $15 Boston Light, and then $14 Butteroo Knight, $19 Chapelco, recently gelded, $19, how does he say it? Eccelere. Eccelere, thank you, race caller.
Mare flying.
Yeah, so she's going to try and hunt through and lead here, I think, although Eminent Duke was able to lead her the other day. He's on top of his game, but has found a pretty tough race. Does like Warwick Farm, Eminent Duke, but would prefer it damper. Pure Rebel's been up on the speed lately, but I really don't think he's fast enough. Red is the Rose is a mare that's returning in her second preparation and has pace. Led them up against I Am a Star 2 starts back. And then you've got bits and pieces of speed. Ajani raced forward with the blinkers on for the first time at Gosford. Hammond Lane's drawn deep and has some pace. Chapelco raced right up on the speed in his only run on this track on debut. Perazada will look for a spot. Boston Light won't give his alley away. Deep race, I thought. Firstly, let's talk about these, well, the Waller horse. For or against?
I think we've got to... Let's talk about the two lightly raced things, which are 12 and 14. I'm not sure. I'm going to do some more work. The work will more be involved talking to people than anything else.
Yeah, so you're shopping, or workshopping.
Yeah. I would have given 14 none, except that's I Am Serious. It ran in these trials. Ran against
good trials.
Absolute A grade. I particularly liked its last one against Takedown. You know, like
that was last Friday at Rosehill.
Young horse, inexperienced, going inside horses, strong on the line. Could be a serious horse.
Hang on, God. Who's riding this horse?
Jake
Mr.
Ford.
Beacon.
But you know what? But it's not that. The fact is, the matter is that Bowman rode it in the trial. He can't ride 54.5.
No, obviously. Like, there's
Okay.
no.
But the fact that Bowman rode it in the trial is a big tick, particularly with this stable. They could have a serious opinion of I Am Serious.
Yeah, well, she's got some pretty poor numbers, so that's that's all about the trainer improving this horse to a large degree.
It's only 3 starts for 3 wins, isn't it? So
yeah.
So I know you haven't done time, but you've smashed her up by 2.8, 1.79, and 2.22.
No, but this is a proper race.
Yeah, I know.
You know, you're not getting any favours here. This red is the rose.
You're not getting any favours when you trial against Takedown. Be Like Dad.
Be Like Dad.
Be Like Dad is a great trialer.
Be Like Dad. Like it's probably Ace High. Remember, I was talking about the trial of Ace High in the autumn. You know, like David Payne can get them to do it. I don't understand Be Like Dad trialing quite that well. Anyway, so
yeah, and the other one I want to talk about, which is Red is the Rose, and you know, one variable for me, led in a Group 2 against I Am a Star, only got done by 2 lengths.
Hang on, pen job form. What are you talking about?
I know, and I will give you, like, Hayes and Dabney, give me a call, because I'll give you some hints about how to train in Sydney, and that is, you can do all your bullshit carryings on down in Melbourne, but you want to run well in Sydney, you go in a decent trial before you run around at the races after 151 days off. So, you guys are kidding yourself?
Hang on, formality, what did it do on Saturday?
Smash me. Trials, Cranbourne.
Is that a decent standard trial?
It trialled. You don't do this funny stuff in Sydney. Our horses are too good for that. Yeah, so I love that run. You know, I'm massive on leaders back in grade, but the fact that you haven't trialled is a big, it's a double pen job then, because you come out of Melbourne and you actually haven't trialled. So.
Yeah, but this is a scary horse here. It looks like, you know, it's a lightly raced mare with talent, and you know,
What have you priced it? 20 to 1?
Oh, I'll have it $11.
There you go. I'm not as good as Glenn. The one I had a second look at as well was number 7, Hammond Lane. Not normally my kind of horse, but it's definitely a fresh horse.
Needed to stick G. Buckley on this horse for you, just so you didn't have to look at it.
I had to look at it.
Why? It's like it's not a 1,200 metre horse. It's like a 1,400 metre horse. And how old is it now? 6 or 7?
Didn't mind the trial. Sassabee came out and held on quite well after leading, and only got run down by what I thought was a decent horse. I can't remember the race quite now. And it's a stats horse, so have a look at the stats. The stats are pretty good. I think it might be able to do something, particularly if we find later on the day that...
I think go looking for that horse second up at Beaumont or Weil.
Yeah, could be. Could be.
Gee, there you are, Gord, wasting time on roughies. What do you do? I thought you talked yourself out of that business.
Jesus, how long did I talk about the bloody 14 and 12 for? Because I could end up marking this 6-4 14.
Well, that's interesting, because it's all on suspicion, really.
Well, it won't be on suspicion tomorrow, but at the moment it's on suspicion.
Look, number 1, Ajani, has been a disappointing horse, but Blinkers on the other day, against a terrible field, I know, but he was transformed, he showed speed, he showed acceleration. He's just going to park in behind the speed here, and I think...
Yeah, and I know how much he loved that Gold Coast Magic Millions form as well, so you're going off
He's
that
a long way
yeah.
away, long way away from that now. No, I'm going on the fact that he was hard in the market in two... hard in the market in 2 city runs before spelling. He came back and was wide all the way first up, and then Blinkers on, and it made a big difference.
Hammond Lane v Ajani.
Oh, yeah, you're good. Even billion, you're good as gold.
I'm doing a Glenn there, aren't I? I'm taking the 26-1 shot, and you're
Glenn
taking
doesn't
the
do it. Glenn's not that stupid.
Yeah.
Yes. What about Perizada, who is in fact second favourite in this race, Gord?
I'm against it.
Right, everything went right the other day. She's a mare with a win on this track, course and distance. Look, it's a race with interesting resumers.
Geez, it would have been interesting if that Cap Rocker had a... You remember it was scratched when it came up here to run?
Yeah.
It would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
Alright, that's the penultimate, and then we get another 17 horse field. We've lost Minor Freckier at the moment. And this is the nightcap. $3.80 Awoke. $4.75 her nemesis from last preparation, Royal Navy. And then it's wide. It's $9 Gretna, $10 Bolero King, $16 Heartlings, $17 Tenorino, $17 Jemadar, $17 Shotgun Roulette, 21 Winebush heads the others. Gretna is...
fat race, isn't it?
Yeah, Gretna, B. Shin on board, leads here. Bolero King goes forward. Jemadar and Choice Lager, should he run, although no rider suggests that he won't, get well forward. Sky Limit, Heartling's not far away along the inside there. He's a given and Richard the First. So I've got Awoke sort of not getting into that good a position. Well, not getting into that forward position, I suppose. Yeah, I had Royal Navy ahead of her on the map. But she did trial a bit differently there the other day, Gord, Awoke. On Friday.
I actually liked it. Like it's a sort of, I think it's a sort of horse where you know, sometimes you need to smack something around a bit to wake it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it needs waking up.
Yeah.
Awoke.
Yeah. You know what? That was a complete accident.
God's been working on that pun all day.
Oh, seriously, I haven't. Oh my God, you just caught me there. I love the fact that Huey went to ride it. That's all good. Probably won't be my bet in the race. Seems a little bit too well found for me. Interesting that all the big punters have put who is definitely their go-to jockey on Jemadar, isn't it? They've found a race that's not suitable yet again. Like,
gee, it's a bit deep for Jemadar, isn't it?
I think whoever's placing this horse must struggle.
Oh, well, they're just looking for a race every 2 weeks, aren't they? It's just like 1400 is right. This is the right race.
Oh man, there's so many races that this horse can win, and they've found two where it can't. Like,
big hello to all those owners of Jemadar.
you know, they were out there, weren't they? They'll probably be out there tomorrow, and they'll give it to me when it gets up. Me only interested in 2 horses in the race, even though it is quite wide. I'm giving Bolero King another chance.
Well, he gets away from the inside and that sloppy Randwick. Both of those Randwick tracks were wet, and he was caught up on the inside there both times.
You've got a golden switch. I'm not sure about this Michael Murphy.
They tell me my mother says he's a very good rider.
Okay,
but Chris Muntz, he was apprentice to Chris Muntz up at Queensland, and went well there. I mean, he's it's one of those situations where you'd rather see him have some local form, but that's his recommendation.
Clary Currens has done the wrong thing by this horse, the way he's set up these races. 11 to 12.50, back to 12, 12 again. You know, that's funny stuff. I'm loving the 1400 metres here.
Yeah.
I was hoping that Gretna would get scratched.
Right, so he could lead.
Yes.
He's not, I wouldn't. Like, I know he sat outside the lead in a fast run race at Canterbury, but I wouldn't necessarily tag him as a leader. I think he is he's a horse that would like one out, one back really. But anyway.
Okay. So why don't they put Bowman on him?
Because Bowman was booked for a woke, Gord.
Yes.
So
there's only 2 chances in the race. Very keen. If you notice last preparation, Bolero King ran over 1400 metres twice. Once it beat Ravi by 1.3 lengths, and they put
Ravi?
another 1.8 on the rest of the field. I have an opinion of Ravi. That is a serious run over 1400 metres. Was posted wide on the time, but that wasn't so important on the particular day at Hawkesbury. But if it can replicate that after this funny preparation it's had, it's the best long shot on the day. Am I allowed to say long shot when it's $10?
Well, it's a bit out of fashion in this race, despite having run on Saturdays. It's past 2 runs, both suspect Saturday runs probably. What about Royal Navy? It's hard up Awoke's bottom. Trials, talk to me. Did you look? You didn't look?
Heading it. Sometimes you let emotion get involved in things, and I thought we backed it that one day, didn't we? When it got the win at
took
Rose
$17.
Hill.
Yes, took $17. It was off the map for C Brown. Who got the job done.
And I just thought that
Awoke was only 6 lengths away.
That you sort of perfect setup, perfect ride, everything went right. That was your win. I'd not seen anything that would enable it to get that short in this kind of field. First up, particularly.
But hang on, Gord, it's a Saturday winner.
Okay, that's fine, and you know I do care about that. But there's a few Saturday winners in this race, Mark.
Let's have a look at them. There, okay. I'm looking.
There's got to be. Well, anyway, even if you haven't won on a Saturday, you've got Hartlings, runs good races on Saturday. Not interested in backing it.
I think there is a shortage of Saturday winners, although Awoke did win and beat Foxplay at her second start on a Saturday. So I'll give it to Awoke. We'll say Awoke and Royal Navy are the Saturday winners in this race.
Really? What about Sky Limit? Sure it's never won on a Saturday?
Sky Limit was a debut winner at Canterbury and was struggling straight away for Gay Waterhouse before being trained by Toby Edmonds up in Brisbane. Got some Brisbane Saturday wins. I'm not counting them.
Okay. Well, it's irrelevant to me whether it's what the case is anyway. Like I'll judge it on what I think standard is. Yeah, I thought there was a few that would have run better in decent races. I think there's a few group performers in this race.
Yeah. Anyway, 9 from 6 for me.
Is there any Cezanne form in this race?
I'm sure you'll find a bit of Cezanne form in Awoke. But yeah, giant 1400 to finish the day. Now,
massively keen on betting in that race.
Right, because you think there's a lot of chaff in the race, and because Awoke's been woken up.
Well, hasn't.
Trial was interesting.
Sometimes you can slap a guy in the change rooms, but it doesn't mean he runs onto the pitch and plays well.
Sometimes, yeah, indeed. Okay, so you sounded keenest in race 3, number 1, Dissolution.
Just look. No, my bet of the day is Queen of Heights in the distance race.
I gave you a sheet. Where are you taking my sheet?
It's in my back pocket. I'm going to back Queen of Heights, Disillusion. My bet of the day could end up tomorrow being I Am Serious. You can tweet it if I find out more information. You can tweet that to people. Yeah. And definitely keen on backing in the last race. I'm only backing 2 horses, 6 and 9. That'll be the race that I play the most in.
Well, I think I have to go head to head with you again. I'm going to tip Al Maha.
Oh, you smashed me last week, didn't you?
So it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, because I need a maiden to tip in, and Al Maha fits the bill.
So all this weird stuff's going on right now, isn't it? Like me, best of the day in a distance race. It's not April 1, is it?
Not quite. Anyway, that's the Warwick Farm preview. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, the Keg is making his Racing Rant debut for the Rose Hill preview on Friday. He'll join Glenn and I. I'm not sure what Glenn will be wearing, and I'm not sure what will come out of Glenn's mouth.
I think I should email some questions in for the Keg. Like,
that'd be a great idea.
Did you get teased as a redhead as a child? Something like that.
and yeah, and he's going to have to put up with me for lunch afterwards. The complimentary lunch for the guest.
Pull out, mate. Pull out. It's boring. It's boring. He just wants to drink red wine.
Anyway, that'll be Friday, and
we've got a big announcement to make. We've got Lismore coming up, which I'm so excited about. I've currently got 4 people that are flying up there with us. So if you get a few more, we can maybe hire a plane and go up. Yeah?
Indeed.
So see how you go. Email in, and we've got the massive announcement of us tarting ourselves out for a very small amount of money.
And look, there's even more news, Gord. You know, the RacingRant horse that's still hasn't been named yet, I think, but he is going to be in the early season trials at Canterbury. We can go out and see him.
That is awesome. Oh, and supposedly that's good things have been heard.
That's less than a month away. So that apparently is the plan at the moment.
It's all happening.
It is, and Dicko's having his 30th birthday just before you're having your 31st birthday in a few weeks' time.
I'm trying to think of some sort
He's parading terribly for 31. But anyway, see you on Friday.
See you guys.